usually try to keep up the AMA on Sunday, but because of the recent launch of BitTalk, we kind of wanted to delay it one day over. But moving forward, we wanted to always do it Sunday. So that's the new kind of agreement that we have internally. Yeah. So again, thanks for joining, everybody. So basically, we had BitTalk launch, but I wanted to give you guys maybe heads up what we plan to talk about today. Basically, we wanted to focus on TOC and PG and our relationship and how we picture TOC as a moving forward and then PG's involvement with it. Also, I wanna talk about a little bit on why we started TOC and what's the progress, and things like that. So basically, wanted to touch upon those points. So I think a lot of you already know. If you don't know, maybe I wanna give a little bit background story on TOC, and how we created this Artenos community and what we did so far. So basically, TOC is Artenos collection that we dropped in February, which started off with TOW, and then right after we dropped Dejira, then finally we dropped our BRC20 token BTalk recently, a few days back, right? So why we jump into Artenos BTC? So it's, I think, obviously, there's a lot of new things come around, comes and goes, and things like that, right? But for us, fundamentally, it was kind of decision that we can take on, because for instance, if there's new chain comes out, let's call it Arbitrum, they're getting really hype and all those things, but we're not gonna jump into Arbitrum, right? Doesn't make sense. But let's say there's new meta, 3D meta or whatever. I don't think we're gonna jump into those metas like really quickly or things like that. But when we hear about like something happening on BTC, there's new development. It's pretty cool. You can attach files to Satoshis and things like that. That was like very interesting. At the same time, we also thought about like, okay, so it's always in crypto. It goes like this. BTC, then it pumps, then everybody else pumps, right? So it's again like when there is like crazy thing happens on BTC, we want to be part of it. Like we want to at least test it out or something. That's why we inscribed Tejiras. We could have inscribed it even earlier, but I mean, we're still happy that we inscribed Tejiras around 50K. We made really quickly the art, and then there was no actual wallet, nothing. So our devs has to study Artenos, new protocol, and things like that. We executed really quickly, and then we waited a little bit, but then things moved on really quick. And right around, like couple of weeks, not even back, we said that this is gonna go right. This is not gonna. We definitely wanna try something out. Maybe let's try give inscriptions to our holders and things like that, because at that time, like also PG holders, in PG holders, there was like a lot of discussion about Artenos and things like that. What they said, what to do, how to get one in. The thing was like the lower number of inscriptions was going, very crazy and all that. We wanted to give back to our holders and all those things. So we inscribed. So we raised the TOW. It wasn't that much. I think it was 0.033 ETH. So basically about $60 each mint, and we spent $20-something for the inscription, and we also spent some money for the developers, things like that. So we end up making a little bit, not so much, like some money, but that wasn't really actually the purpose of doing that. It wasn't about raising money through this or things like that. Then finally, like, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just to add something here, it's like when we inscribed the 4,000 passes, we basically paid 60,000 USD out of our like own pocket because it's like a huge risk to inscribe, and we first inscribed and then minted the ETH one, so people actually owned the inscription basically already. And nowadays, if we would nowadays inscribe 4,000 pieces, it would cost us probably like $5 million.
Yeah, things change really quick. So that time it was cheaper, but then like right after its gas spiked, and then I think everybody knows there was like big spike of gas, and then 400 something inscriptions were waiting for inscribe and things like that. So we were happy that the process went smooth and all those things. We created this TOC community. Then what's next, right? Like we obviously start asking ourselves, what do we do with it? The Jira, obviously we had it. It's a cool art, cool collection. A lot of people liked it, and we give it. We actually raised some fund through that. I still think everybody who minted or acquired them are happy. So we're happy too. And then after BTalk. So this is like again the big step in forward for TOC in my opinion. We are tapping into tokenomics now, tokenized ecosystem or whatever it is. At this point, everybody thinks, like it's very limited functions that you can do with this token. It's right now you can split them, you can transfer them, sell them, buy them. So simply that. But we also know that there is also room to grow, room to do a lot of things with tokens and all those things. So our approach right now with TOC is a little different than PG. So I think I want to talk about PG and TOC, and then how we have different mindset or vision. So in terms of PG, I think everybody kind of knows we focus on investment. We focus on empowering our community. We educating our community. It's like we have DAOs, Fusion DAOs. We give you guys alpha, whitelist, bring you early alphas. So we have this community, and we grow up together, build things together, get into something together, and things like that. But in terms of TOC, we see this little different, right? So PG obviously, invest into a number of products. We helped launch number of projects, advise them. In that sense, we kind of good at advising, and then we have some experts that can lead projects. So, but in terms of TOC, we want to be, instead of focusing on this community building or focusing on micromanaging community, like giving them alphas and things like that. More we want to focus on product development, right? So that's why we have the team structure little different. Like with PG, we have a big team, right? So we have so far 30 plus heads, around 7-8 people full time, and everybody else part time and then contributes. Also, we have like big group of halters that support and all those things. But TOC, we don't have to be that big. So there is very small overhead on us month to month basis. So we don't have like many staffs, but I'm gonna touch upon that point again. Even though we don't have many staffs, we still can do it. So there is that part. So our focus can be just on focusing on products. So we wanna why we wanna do product with TOC is that because again, Ordinals is very new. Inscriptions, BTOC, all those things are like very new to everybody, right? Like for instance, wallets just become bit stable. Like a couple of months back, everybody wasn't sure, sending their things back and forth. But now you can at least send your stuff. So there is so much untapped opportunities, potential to not to innovate everything, but at least to develop some product that's missing in Artenos space. It doesn't have to be like really creative or new product or something like that, but we also, of course, always focus on innovation and things like that. And yeah, and product wise, we also kind of very selective what to do, and then we don't want to be like, remember how we first introduced we're gonna do marketplace, and then while we're working on marketplace, there was like 5 marketplace launched before us, right? So we don't want to be in that situation again. So our approach now is like, what's missing, who's not working on which, what type of product. That's where we wanna gonna focus. Also, like we gonna maybe see the bigger picture. Like when you have this many products together coming out, like some of them have to be standout. So there's some kind of validation needs to happen, right? Like somebody needs to audit, somebody needs to meet the team, go through the product, things like that. So we're looking looking at TOC as a product, develop like a development hub or something. How can we do this without like spending too much resource? That's again another interesting question. And also, obviously, I wanted to give assurance to PG holders, PG community, that we are also very mindful on spending resources, not just the funding wise, also human resources and time and effort. We are also very careful with that aspect. So, for instance, right now TOC has 4 full timer. Like even though they're working on TOC, they still do things in PG. So mainly Shin, Tata here, and Groot takes care of the collaboration and all those things. RNA also help with the partnership and all that. Then I also work on the product side of things. Then we have other people who's focusing on development. So we, instead of again us building everything, fully funding different things, we partnered up with the development studios. So one of them is Ryuk Lab. So Ryuk Lab and us working on product together, they're taking care of all the development side of things, and we just enabling them and then also helping them with a certain aspect. And Pans Next is also onboarding into our tunnels. They're also working on with us on a couple of different things. We also have some other smaller dev teams. They're trying to do things, and we looking at their development process and things like that. And so it's collaborative effort. We have maybe as soon as we might gonna launch like several product at the same time. I don't think we're not gonna be in shock if we can do that. So when you have like this kind of collaborative effort, people working together, just taking one thing at a time, focusing on one product, then things can move really quick, right? So again, because of the Artnos being very early, we don't want to rush anything. We want to make sure everything is like stable, tested, audited, and all those things. Then we're gonna start releasing those products one by one. That's kind of the idea. And in terms of TOC and PG, so basically TOC is funded by PG and then founded by PG. It's a fully funded and founded by PG, which means it's 100% owned by PG. It's just another let's say another branch of PG that operates on the Artenos side of things. So we're known for having equity into project, things like that. Now this time around, we feel comfortable running TOC as a side project for PG, and also we, knowing that we have like big enough team, we'll be able to manage PG like no, sorry, TOC without like being really in crunch or things like that. So the long-term goal is to have TOC to have like dedicated full-time team that just works on TOC, right? But till then, we wanna make sure we make TOC self-sustaining ecosystem first. then let's say we need to hire maybe 10 more people, 20 more people, things like that. But at this stage, I also very happy how TOC evolved like throughout this latest couple of months. So if you look at TOC stuff, there's like few team members, and then everybody else is a mod, right? And within those mods, most of those mods are either it's PG Gen holders, Gen 2 holders, or some early TOW holders and things like that. So it's almost like this now PG community onboarding into TOC and then kind of taking a lead, unintentionally. Like we didn't ask anybody to come and volunteer and things like that, right? But I want to give shout out to some early members that contributed, like Echo, Adis, and there is like few guys like that really put a lot of effort into the community building side of things. So and they just lead by example. And then lately we got like new members joined. Jen here in the
Jimmy,
chat. He's hey group.
Mamba.
Yes,
Mamba. Mamba is one Mamba.
Yeah. So we had like this few guys or like just vibing, and then like just being there and then giving a lot of alpha to the community and things like that. Because TOW is, again, it's a very new brand, new community. There is like sometimes the not like PG culture is not there. Maybe somebody just comes in and randomly huts everything, things like that. But our guys really just there, like it's really empowering our community through our halters. Like that only can happen in Web3. I think this kind of thing only happens in ecosystem like PG and TOC, right? It's not gonna be able to happen. Let's say we launch that another project and we ask all the PG halters to go and support. I don't think it's going to be organic like this. So that's why we were able to run this community up to this point, right? That's the one of the very cool part. We all seen it, and then we kind of very proud that we can say we built this thing together, right? Like so that's kind of short rant on TOC and then PG. So in terms of TOC and PG moving forward, how both this ecosystem can benefit. Obviously, every alpha that, like every drop that came from Ordinal side of things, it's given to PG holders. Like we always give priority, right? Obviously, you guys might be expecting like a lot, you know what I mean? Like you want maybe 50% of the allocation or 90%. But again, to build, independent brand that doesn't rely too much on PG Hub, because now imagine that we have to give you guys every whitelist allocation, biggest number of the token allocation. Then again, it's become another PG copy paste. So we wanted that inclusivity. We wanted to grow, reach out to like different demographics, not just through BitTalk race, BitTalk drop. I think we also onboarded a lot of Solana people. I'm not sure many of them minted, but I'm definitely think we reach out to many Solana ecosystems, which is in a way gives exposure back to PG again. Everybody sees us there leading, right? Our PG holders in the chat, comment down people, giving them encouragement, like we know how to be patient, right? But those guys, some people they don't. So you know what I mean? It's again we represent PG properly to different ecosystems, which is also very cool in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think when there is something like this happens, PG never gonna stay back and then not do anything. But we're not gonna jump into every ship. If it fits our fundamentals or our foundational, like vision and things like that, we're definitely gonna give it look. But this was one of the first time we said, okay, let's do something on this chain. Yeah, I think that's kind of the beginning, and then so far we're doing pretty good. I think both of PG and TOC holders, having that nice synergy benefited from having in each of the discords. I've seen a lot of the Jira holders join PG Discord, learn some alpha, learn the culture. Also they had first chance to invest into one of our investment opportunities together. So I think a lot of good things happened. I hope there's gonna be a lot more things gonna continue to happen from this side of things. But I definitely want to give you guys assurance. By TOC having the spotlight doesn't mean PG is not doing anything. You know what I mean? So we have, you guys used to know we used to give alpha every day, and then like a lot of things happening. But again, now because of the beer market, the focus is on ordinals, so we did a bit more there. But PG again was working on a couple things at the same time, like mid-term and long-term, right? So we have product that we focus on mid-term, and then another thing that focus on the long-term that eventually you guys gonna see. Usually, short-term stuff, it creates that like instant hype, but then it dies down really quick. So it's like ROI is pretty small when you focus on smaller initiatives. But so far, I think we are still in a very decent position with next few months that we're gonna launch those things. So we're pretty excited about this new innovation or investment and things like that. So most of, like, I would say 80% of PG team is still focusing on this bigger projects, products development. And meantime, we were able to also manage TOC, pretty smoothly last few months, and then last few weeks, and recently we had successful launch. But again, it's just the beginning, in my opinion. Within TOC and PG, we're gonna have a lot more things coming up. Again, it's pretty quiet at this moment, but I'm sure you guys gonna be patient enough for us to quietly develop and build a few things. That's just a rant from my end. I want maybe Shin to take over, talk about maybe recent launch and then alpha, whatever you wanna go.
Alpha? Let's maybe like to see like how we imagine it right now, like the constellation, because maybe somebody here is confused still about like let's not say ecosystem, but maybe like the tiers and stuff. So we have the Ordinal War. That's basically the collection that it's a pass that gets you into the Ordinals club, basically into the server with the holder role, which gives you like the best current whitelist. We have great alpha hunters, and of course like opportunities like with the BTOC drop, because the TOW holders, they got a special stackable allocation. And like the main thing about TOW is it's like a historic piece right now, because it's inscribed between 80,000 and 140,000 ordinals. So it's almost like over the half of the supply of TOW is sub 100k. And it's a historical piece. And it has its own verve in this ordinal space, in the collectible section. And it's basically also the earliest pass with this amount of allocation, like 4,000 pieces, that is inscribed on the Bitcoin. And I would say the burn event, we will have the burn event very soon. I think hopefully this month, very smooth. And then all the ETH placeholders getting replaced by the real ordinals. So if you own a TOW ETH one, you will get soon your ordinals. And this way you will actually then have it in your hands and be probably more part of the ordinal communities with maybe for some of you your first ordinals. And so the basic idea is that TOW, the ordinal, is basically your pass, and BTOC is basically your liquid token into the TOC ecosystem. So the idea is not to sell your TOW, to hold onto it as the historical piece and the pass, and to have the BTOC as your liquid token into the ecosystem. And of course, above all of them is basically the holy grail, the Dajira, that is having the biggest allocation for BTOC, that will have the vesting phase. So every month, a Dajira will get 1,000 tokens of BTOC. And it's basically overall the holy grail and at the top of the pyramid. And
yeah, that's where we kind of do have an argument on this, Shin and us. We still go back to Genesis, like Genesis being our main collection. So yeah, it's Holy Grail in a way, in a sense, it's on BTC, right? So I mean, I think both the community, even though it's very small, like both the collection, Genesis and Dejira, this has nice synergy. I've seen a lot of Genesis guys also owning Dejiras, right? So yeah, there's like this cool synergy going on. It's pretty similar in a way. It's a small group, also has their own channels, their vibes, there's share alpha and all those things. So it's pretty cool to see that.
we
I
also
think
have
yeah.
the Dajira raffle for every holder of 500 BTOC. And so we had the number one Dajira in our vault. And so we decided, instead of giving the number one Dajira in the vault, we decided to put it up for a blind bid auction only for Dajiras. So they can swap their Dajira with the number one Dajira. And the biggest bid won yesterday with 30,000 BTOC, which is, I think, equal to like 1 ETH. And so his Dajira is getting raffled now, and he will own the number one Dajira. And the raffle will, I think, be done today. So be sure to check it out. Maybe you won, maybe not. And
yeah. So just by simply holding BTOC, you're gonna be able to participate. But this could be maybe one of the first raffles for BTOC holders. I don't want to reveal a whole lot, but this is something that we want to give back. I mean, we don't like to do many things like in a Ponzi-nomic way. You know what I mean? Like you can hold the floor price by giving, doing raffles and all those things. But we want to make sure eventually we provide proper utility or proper use case to it. And those things are on the way. I'm pretty sure somebody else in the other side also built in some things for tokens, BRC20 tokens. Again, it's very early, a lot of uncertainty, but it's also gives us enormous opportunity to provide or create something cool, right? So that's the angle we try to see.
And maybe to add also, because I saw RNA writing about it. So TOC was, I would say, a huge benefit for the PG attention in the Web3 space, because as you know, the ETH Web3 space is pretty down. And so I think with the Ordinals way we did the marketing, we got a lot of eyes on PG2, of course. If you check the Twitter stats from Shin started basically the TOC journey with 100,000 followers, and he has now 210,000 followers, which is more than PG. So he's basically now really everywhere, like in every chain known. Because we're onboarded with the BTOC token, like Solana, all Ethereum communities, all of the Ordinal communities. So basically, we have our founder is basically now known in every major chain. Our page, the TOC page, grew from 5,000 followers to 150,000 followers, which also just shows like the huge rise in attention. And of course, with the PG connection, this just goes into the PG space also, because we got so many new connections, so many new attention from really big people who are now even more keen to join the PG ecosystem, because they see we are not getting lost in irrelevancy like, let's say, other projects right now. We try to keep up, but not the stupid metas, because we joined in February the ordinal meta. It's not like we are late bloomers, like let's say other projects right now trying from EVE to ordinals. We did it already in February, so we are already established as OGs, which is a huge success, and it just shows like that PG, I think, is doing always the right steps, or trying to do always the right steps in the right direction, and which just speaks for the stats, as you can see.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good take. I think it through TOC it brought so much exposure to PG again, brought PG back to that spotlight, in my opinion. But TOC was very small a couple of weeks back. I think we can all agree how small it was, like in terms of exposure on Twitter and things like that. But then, even then, we remember how we received VC's interest from, even though it was some random VC from nowhere, they still shown interest to invest into TOC. So we still see this as a really potential, really the project or product which has high potential to grow and then generate revenue stream or whatever it is. It has that kind of foundation already laid. So we're gonna continue to work on TOC side of things. Again, not putting too much resource or the workload on PG. We make sure both the side continues to deliver new things or deliver the promises that we make and things like that. So I would definitely say that we are on the right path in here. Yeah. I guess we can take some questions if anybody has question, unless Shin has more things to say, or Groot, RNA from TOC team that wanna say more things.
What we can maybe add is, so you probably all know that we are like super connected to PANS, PG and TOC wise, because PANS is preparing also their ordinals, and the drop is very soon. And usually for this is like what Shan told me to tell you, everybody here. So basically everyone else for the PANS Genesis needs to fill an application, because they only want like selected members from outer space. But with PG or TOC or the Jira, of course, it's the same. You can express interest through us if you want to join the pre-sale, for example, because we are really close working with PANS. You will see soon. It's one of our utilities that we're gonna work with them for the BTOC side. And yeah, so if somebody's interested, keep up with the Twitter and announcements, because there will be shared experiences with PANS.
I would like to commend the team, RNA here, by the way. I would like to commend the team for the job done over the last 2 weeks. I don't think that many people realize that, like guys like Tata, Shin, and Jamie worked for like 16 hours a day to get this done. There were a couple of hiccups, of course, but that was taken care of. And again, I would just want to commend the team on an excellent job, well executed. That was it for me.
Yeah, nice. Thanks, Arne.
I mean, RNA did also a great job of handling the tickets, because if
Can you, Arne, how many tickets did you go through?
We had a total of around 4,700 tickets. I think I handled about 4,000 of them, and I pulled in I'm Groot and Tata when necessary. But yeah, it was in that sense a new environment. So you had a lot of new people asking not the most bright questions, but it takes a lot of time. Yeah, especially with
I remember like I don't know who was it, but someone was saying that it kind of very reminds him that Gen 2 days. Like many tickets, like a lot of people asking questions, have to mint what to do and things like that. Yeah, understandably so. When you try onboard different communities into this, we did this purposely. I mean, we again PGs always wanna be that project or whatever that kind of wanna lead by example or inclusivity or onboard more people into the ecosystem and things like that. So we find this new approach of onboarding ETH and Solana community into Ardenos space, which in a way it also helps people, right? Because if you think about Web3 in general, ETH community, it's very small. It's we're talking about 100k people, maybe 200 or maybe 500 at max. It's like so small, and if everybody just focus on one side of things, we're never gonna grow to that big stage. So it just makes sense to try out new chains, new things, new metas and things like that. Obviously, we're not gonna lead you guys to everything. If shitcoin meta came, we're not gonna focus dropping shitcoin, right? So we only gonna focus when there is when it makes sense for everybody, like for us, for you guys, and then for everybody in the ecosystem. Yeah, it was big onboarding experiment. I think we did decent job onboarding a lot of people. Obviously, that also comes with the downside, right? When new people into new ecosystem, there is a lot of uncertainty. They definitely not gonna trust the vision, or they're definitely not gonna have patience to hold your NFTs or your tokens, things like that. We understand that side of things, but we also know that some people has to go out if you don't believe in you, right? Some people has to move on and then replaced by the real OGs, like you guys, right? Um, so yeah, like we definitely gonna continue to work, continue to deliver, surprise you and surprise TOC holders, things like that. So kind of excited about what we can do on the Artenos side of things. Also very excited about what PG has in back. So yeah, I hope I didn't leak whole lot.
Didn't. I would say like our next event. If people are asking what is our next event, of course BTOC will get more and more revealed to it. TOW wise, the burn event is of course happening very soon. There is maybe some alpha about it. So, but I don't want to reveal it yet. It's a small alpha for people. Maybe people will be happy to hear this. But I won't leak this now. It has to do with the sub 100k amount, I would say.
Tata, Tata, why the fuck everyone wants to be Sean?
leak to get the DMs. Oh, thank you for this leak. And I mean the burn event will be cool, I guess, because people are also asking why did we burn now, like after 4 months almost. And to be honest, it's the best time to burn now, because let's say we would have burned like 2-3 months ago, right? Nobody would have burned, like maybe 5 to 10%. Nobody owned a Taproot BC1P wallet in March. And now everybody basically has it. I think everybody in this Discord, like let's say 90%, has this Express wallet, has this Unisat wallet, and is able now to burn actually and own the ordinals. And I think this onboarding approach we had, like with BTOC, just shows like the results now that we can do an actual big burn. I think probably the biggest burn that's actually gonna happen in the space will be with TOW. And let's see how many are actually gonna burn on this day that we will announce soon. I hope like many will join us, because I think it's so much cooler to own the ordinal than the ETH placeholder. And yeah, I mean this is for TOC, and for BTOC, of course, there's like some rumors going on. I think Shin already hinted in the TOC chat about possible listings and stuff. And yeah, I mean, look forward to it. But always like be sure to do your own own research, because listing things are always scary things, because more liquidity goes into this token, into this BRC20 token, like both ways, up and down. And yeah, just like inform yourself how BRC20 tokens are with listings, like OXBT and ORD are great examples. And more announcements coming soon, of course, for BTOC. Don't worry about that. Otherwise, if somebody has like questions, I don't know if people can talk here in this voice chat or just written form.
Yeah, they should be able to. And just to add on what you guys said up till now is like, if you look at the importance of the financials from TOC to the PG ecosystem, last week Ken had an AMA on the financials in general, and he touched upon the TOE collection, that Jira collection, and the BRC20 launch. I'll post it now in chat, that if people want to get an overview of that, you can watch watch actually the video of that AMA, but there's also an overview of the financials in the AMA recap that I posted in chat. So if people want to check that out, it's very important that we have a positive revenue stream. TOC managed that for PG over the last 4 months, so don't underestimate that as well. Yes.
Any questions? Let me check.
Pretty sure BTOC plays role for Snake's whitelist sub 10k inscription. Yeah, I do believe so. I guess
I
Tata,
don't know.
you. I don't know. Okay. No, too
Like-
early. Okay.
There are multiple plans. We need to see like how the price action goes. Let's say for BTOC, for TOW and stuff, for the Jiras. And snacks are of course like sub 10k. Like sub 10k. If somebody doesn't know, it's basically the sub 10k culture in ordinals is like the biggest grail ordinal wise, because these are the first 10,000 inscriptions that are like inscribed on the Bitcoin. And we acquired with TOC the Satoshi snacks. I think around about 60 snacks that are inscribed sub 10k, and of course are very valuable. And how they are gonna, because like we acquired them, but of course there's still the owner, Gen 1 owner, Skyborn, and he of course also needs a share. So how we're gonna distribute them, etc., we will let you know as soon as possible. But right now, I wouldn't like talk too much about it, because otherwise rumors will start, etc.
Hey guys, this is Chan. I have a really quick question, actually, if that's cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm curious about PG sort of rumored deal that's in the shadows right now. That's close to be completed. How does that affect TOC, if at all?
Yeah, again, TOC, because it's being completely off-chain brand, not on ETH and things like that, definitely not gonna change anything with TOC. But obviously, PG wise, it's a big launch or big acquisition. So we're putting a lot of emphasis. We're working with number of people on this together. So we wanted to make sure we do announce when the announcement makes sense to announce this thing, right? With the proper back into it. So, but in terms of TOC, it's because it's being on the it's almost like separate brand, right? So in that sense, it won't be affecting it too much. Maybe in a good way eventually, but yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions, maybe? Let me check the chat. Oh yeah, and if you wonder maybe what my profile picture is, that's a cursed Jira. So this is maybe a nerdy lore collectible talk. So basically, if you know how inscription works, you have basically 1 to, let's say we're now at 13 million inscriptions, but there was basically this way where you can inscribe negative inscriptions, so -1, -2, and the cursed Jiras are sub -65k, and every Jira holder with a specific amount, like to be announced amount of BTOC, will be able to get this collectible. It's basically his Dejira flipped in black white. This was like my short decision when I created these inscriptions, basically to flip them to the negative axis of the ordinate, because they're negative Dejiras basically, and black white. And every Dejira will be able to claim this with BTOC, but he needs, of course, to hold the Dejira to get his equivalent 1/1 Curse Jira. Yeah, this is like maybe some news for some of you. For the Dejiras isn't much news, but yeah, I just wanted to share this too.
By the way, just to add on it, Shin is like full Ardenos Maxi at this point, so sometimes things he's gonna say is like shilling sound like shilling. Ardenos. Yeah, he's enjoying, like he's doing amazing job leading this community. I don't think TOC gonna be here without Shin and Groot and RNA and those guys. So they did amazing job. Like they're really into it. Like I was surprised how those guys were like enjoy working on POC. You know, obviously we put some effort and all that, but it was pretty much leadership of Shin that brought TOC at this stage. So exchange news. I don't want to leak. Yeah, I don't want to leak very early.
Should we talk about? I don't know about the. How should I explain now so nobody understands us? About the how you can also use BTOC, like the video we dropped too. The little, you know what I mean, Jamie?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think. Yeah, I think it's already there, so we can. I guess we can talk about it. So one of the future plan for TOC is to drop that PFP collection, right? Because obviously we have our halters, TOW halters, halting a pass, which is giving you access, but other than the access, you don't have anything to rep the brand. So it just makes sense for us to drop a PFP collection, but if people wanted to get them. So obviously we're gonna do that due diligence, working on it, start dropping sneak peeks and things like that. So eventually we wanna drop a PFP collection within a few months. For TOW and also PG holders, I'm sure gonna get allocation. And yeah, other communities as well. So we wanna have that. And that's where I think BitTalk can play some role. We might just want to launch this through BitTalk.
Because people are asking now in the often in the TOC chat when roll for BTOC, and I think it's for us pretty stupid to roll token holders. Let's say you own one BTOC, and you like a roll would be kind of weird for me. So basically, the idea is you will get your roll when you use, like, if you want, of course, your BTOC to get the PFP representation of TOC. Because people always complain since February, oh man, this is just a pass, I can't like wear it, I can't rep it. So the PFP is this brand collectible basically, which you can rep, which will be obtainable with BTOC. So hold on to your BTOC if you want this. I think it's one of the most beautiful original PFPs that will be on Ordinals. And yeah, so this will be rolled then in the Discord, but right now a BTOC token. I understand when other communities are rolling their BRC20 tokens because they don't have like previous holders, like let's say OXBT or Ordio stuff. But we have like actual holders like TOW, Dejiras, so it doesn't make sense for us to roll BRC20 token holders yet. Maybe we should share the video here. Maybe people can see it in chat. Is it this one? Yeah. This is basically like the announcement of the PFP collection coming up for TOC. If you go to the PGVC chat, you will see the video right now being posted. Any other questions? So the payment is through BTOC, right? Yeah, the logic behind is that the PFP is obtainable with BTOC or BTOC. Same thing, just pronounced differently. Dracorek saying they're ugly. I mean, Draco, you own a Gen 1, the most beautiful PFP, so why don't you like appreciate another beautiful PFP? I don't get it. Wait for the day I will have the PG integration as PFP of Diegenheim.
I do some AC asked where is Sean. I think he's traveling back to Melbourne right now. So
yeah, I think he is like right now with VC some talk.
oh, is it? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, last couple of months, Sean and Ken spent a lot of time going around meeting VCs and things like that. So
and if, some people are asking like BTOC like I got in a position right where people DM me for partnerships with BTOC with like cool use cases because people are really bullish on this BRC20 compared to others because we are doxed, we are trustworthy, we have a track record, and it's not just a community token like with these other hype BRC20 tokens. So actual teams with actual visions trust us more, even though let's say the price is maybe not the highest right now. So they approach us. I will go also on a talk on a call with some guys who are planning, like let's say a casino. They're also really keen on BTOC and stuff. So there are like many DMs flowing in from important people that actually want to use BTOC. And my master plan is, of course, that a drunk whale wants to buy Bitcoin, but like bamboozles it with BTOC. Million into BTOC.
yeah, somebody asked about PFP inscription. I think yeah, all I can leak is that we gonna try and inscribe high quality image. At the same time, we might. I don't want to promise again. We might introduce new tech or something creative, so that we be able to inscribe high quality image. Right. That's kind of the goal. So that's why it might take a bit longer than some people expect. So I would say just be patient. Let us do our thing.
Yeah, today, I mean, we won't leak it too much, but today also went on a call for BTOC with maybe a game usage with potential partners. Just giving you examples, like we are connected really for this BTOC token to have like much use case, and we have our own already to be announced. Did you get my DM? Let me check, Swanee. Is this a partnership approach? Yeah, I got your DM. Yeah. This one I got. BTOC in Diablo 4.
Yeah, I mean the BRC20 tokens again. It's very underdeveloped product, right? Like in a way, it has limitation, a bunch of limitation to it. You don't have your buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity. It's not very easy to just sell it when you want to sell it. You have to have buyers to buy it, things like that. But I also do think there is gonna be some use cases on the way, because again it comes back to that token aspect. When you have a token, the main thing that creates use case or utility to it's the DeFi, right? You gotta go there, whether it's lending and borrowing or staking to own something or things like that. So those kind of things definitely gonna come around. By then, I would say number of those tokens gonna have actual use cases. Till then, I think it's all about speculation. Which one gonna have what? Who can create most hype, and all those things.
Maybe just to add, because I also read like some concerns the last weeks, let's say for BTOC, why is BTOC now Jira X, etc. If like just in general, to give you an example, ERC20 tokens, like what Jira X was a few months ago before it got off chain. ERC20 tokens in general, like let's say also Pepe, ApeCoin, blah blah blah, they're in danger by the SEC, because the SEC's like many more states are seeing Ethereum as a security and Bitcoin not. So every ERC20 will also be considered as a security, which is super hard, like for the degen space, I would say, because many regulations would come in, which I mean the SEC could basically rug an ERC20. And the difference with BTOC is BTOC is not Bitcoin is not a security. This way, BRC20 tokens are not a security, which makes it more wise from the financial standpoint, much more likable for the crypto space that is never keen on securities, and it's not druggable because there's no liquidity pool that some project gave it. There is no SEC that has the power to rug the token to get it like off chain, because it's forever inscribed on the Bitcoin. And I think this is also a very nice approach for people that want to get into BRC20 to maybe inform a little bit about this, because I think for some of you,
I wouldn't be giving full guarantee on that. I mean, on my like for me, it has potential, right? Potential to be that nobody can really touch on it. But again, you never know with regulators. So, but it has that potential. But no 100% sure, right?
it's not about the
no
potential.
sure. Yeah.
About like it's not druggable. I mean, you can
yeah.
about the promises and stuff, but you can't delist it. You can't. There is no liquidity pool. Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a funny side note. One of the day class open. Someone who already opened ticket earlier asked if we delay BitTalk launch after.
Yeah, I mean the tickets were funny. Is there a legal team working on it? I mean, I listened now to some spaces with Watchda, one of the best for free lawyers, and some other lawyers too in ordinal spaces, and they all told. I mean, I'm studying law. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm just saying what these lawyers told me in the spaces. So I'm bullish on this fact. But of course, the SEC can make Bitcoin a security. You never know. Then everybody is like in danger. But the tickets were funny. Yeah, RNA is posting some funny side notes from tickets. And the tickets were crazy. Some people are like, they tried to scam us so crazily for whitelist spots. They faked alpha bots, they faked Google Sheets, they did everything possible. I really wonder how many actually slipped through, but I think not that many.
Okay, so if anybody has a last round of questions, we can take some questions, and then I think we had a really decent conversation today.
Yeah, let's see, leak. What do you want?
Yeah.
The NPG meetup in EU. Who knows? What can we leak? I don't know. Like, we don't want to leak too much, to be honest. I mean, just enjoy. I mean, you see many paper hands still are in control. Let's wait a little bit. before we announce step for step. I mean, everybody's saying, yeah, why don't you sweep floor? Why don't you pump, etc. We never did this. Like if you watched the TOW chart, you saw that everything is natural, like ups and downs, higher ups, higher downs. It's like all natural with us, and I think that's what people like at the TOC, because we're not using ETH influencers like other ordinal communities right now to show their ordinals or BRC20 token. It was all natural from the beginning, and we didn't pay anybody like some other projects. It was all natural, and I think we will keep on this philosophy. But yeah, if nobody has questions anymore, I would say if somebody didn't catch everything, you can listen to the recording. It will be posted on TOC and in PG here. Anything else, Jamie?
I just wanna lastly I wanna say again, giving a shout out to not only the team who worked on TOC, also everybody who contributed from PG holders to TOW holders who were in the chat supporting. Big shout out to Echo, who's like hardcore TOW ordinals legend. So yeah, and Swanee too. Swanee was there from the day one with TOW. So yeah, big shout out.
Yeah, I mean we had Alex. Yeah. Does anybody speak right now?
Yeah, that was Maverick. I was just booing Swanee. That was all. I wanted to get that out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But yeah, many people helped us because the general chat was crazy, and yeah, thanks to everybody. Like let me check the temporary mods to shout them out, because I think it's important, because they helped us out so hard in this stressful time. Check roles. Okay, shout out to Lex. Lex is a great guy, always there. AC, Edis, Alexander, Black Bull, Ronaldo's nephew, basically. Brony, Chan, Eric, Jen, Ho, Fire Nova, of course, everybody knows her. King Nectilu, Purple Ninja, MCP, our artist, and Seth and Smoke a lot. Thank you very much for this help, because otherwise people in this team would probably lose their minds. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for joining. If you have any more questions, just ping us in PG or in TOC, and we will catch you soon next time. Maybe the next AMA will be in TOC to talk there more. Yeah, thanks for the love, and thanks for the support. See ya. Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Have a good night, good evening, good morning.